Hi, today I will be doing my monthly wrap up for April. Unfortunately, this month was not good, and I only finished 5 books. I mean, I guess that's not too bad, but I have a lot more free time than usual, so I was hoping for it to be better, but it is what it is. But not only is this month bad in terms of how many books I read, but it is bad in terms of ratings. This was just not a good month, which is funny because last year April was also a bad month for me, so I'm sensing a theme. The first book that I read was actually a reread, and that would be Book Lovers by Emily Henry, and I gave it 3 out of 5 stars. The reason I reread it was because the first time I read it, I wasn't in the right mindset for it. There were some themes in the book that ended up being very close to my personal life, so it ended up just making me feel very sad, and I didn't really enjoy it that much. So I wanted to give it a reread to see if I was just being harsh on it the first time around when I read it because of how I was feeling. I did end up enjoying this book, however, I didn't enjoy it more than the first time I read it. The first time I read it, I also gave it a 3-star, and funnily enough, I've only had one 5-star read from Emily Henry, so I don't know if that was just a one-hit wonder for me or what it was, but yeah, it was good, but it wasn't great. The next book I read was Twisted Love by Huang, and I gave it 3 out of 5 stars again. I'm not going to say too much because I do have an entire reading vlog up on my channel. Overall, I did enjoy it. I will be continuing the series, but it wasn't my favorite book ever. It was very much just in the middle of the pack. Good, but not great. The next book that I finally read was Belladonna by Adalyn Grace, and I gave this one 3.5 stars. I was actually a little disappointed that the star rating was so low for me, but my main issue was going into it, I thought it would be a high fantasy, and when I started reading it, it felt a lot more like a historical fiction with romance and fantasy just sprinkled in. Let me just say that there's nothing wrong with that. I ended up really enjoying the book. I absolutely loved Death. I thought he was so amazing, such a good love interest and character, but I just felt a little bit misled, and that's why I struggled so much getting into it. I actually started it, put it down for a few months, and then picked it back up again. That being said, I absolutely cannot wait for the sequel, especially now knowing what it feels like and how it reads. I think I might enjoy the sequel a lot more than this one. The next book that I read was The Fine Print by Lauren Asher, and I gave this 2.5 stars, which is not great. I'm not going to say too much on this because I do have a reading vlog coming for it, but overall I couldn't get into it. By the time the characters were likable, I just didn't care about the story, and I did almost DNF it, but I really didn't want to because this was a very highly anticipated read for me. The final book that I read this month is Throne of Glass by Sarah J. Maas. I ended up giving this one 4 stars, which is actually quite surprising to me because I went into this thinking I wouldn't like it as much as I like ACOTAR, but I did end up actually thoroughly enjoying it. I also have an entire Throne of Glass series reading vlog that I'm filming as I'm going through the series, so I won't say too much. That being said though, that video won't be out for at least several months because I'm trying to go through the series very slowly and not binge read it in the time span of 2 to 3 months. In terms of DNFs, I didn't DNF anything this month, which was actually kind of a surprise. A part of me wonders if I did, would I have read more, because I didn't want to finish The Fine Print, but I did. And then Book Lovers, because I read it again, even though I enjoyed it, it was just kind of well, I need to finish it because I'm doing a reread. So I wonder if that did put me into the tiniest little bit of a reading slump. But I know a lot of people don't like DNF, so I guess it's technically a good thing I didn't do any DNF this month, but you know, it is what it is. In terms of my TBR for the month of May, I usually don't pick out TBRs for the month ahead of me. I kind of just decide what books I feel like reading at what time and just get them as I want. So I don't have any like unread books on my shelf except Priory of the Orange Tree, which I'm waiting for the audiobook to be uploaded to my library app before I start that one. And then I have the Iron Fae series, which I DNF'd. I spoke about it in my DNF video. But those are the only unread books that I have on my shelf. So I don't really go through each month and pick which books I want to read. I kind of just figure it out as I get halfway through the Lost book that I'm reading. But for this month, I do have a few things that I would like to get to, mostly for videos, but speak. I am starting Crown of Midnight today, so just continuing that series is on my TBR for this month, obviously. I am currently listening to It Happened One Summer, and then I'll be reading the next book in that series. And then I'm also planning on starting a couple of summer-themed books. So as of right now, I maybe have about 8 books on my TBR, but that isn't a definite TBR for the month of May. It's more so just I need to get to these within the next 2 to 3 months, especially the summer theme books because summer is starting. So that's where I'm at. Let me know if you've read any of the same books that I've read this month and what you thought of them. Thank you. Bye.